Ancient China is often celebrated for its wisdom and innovations. It is also noted for its remarkable longevity as a civilization. However, its greatest achievement was its sophisticated system of control. This system enabled rulers to govern vast populations effectively. It allowed for sustained governance over 2,000 years. China's early history was characterized by fractured states. These states were frequently engaged in conflicts with each other. Survival depended on more than just military strength. Organization, coordination, and predictability were also crucial. Power was structured in a top-down hierarchy. The emperor was at the apex of power. Power flowed downwards from the emperor. Each person had a defined place in the hierarchy. Deviation from the established order had consequences. The emperor ruled as the Son of Heaven. This title imbued his authority with cosmic significance. The emperor's rule was seen as divinely ordained. Obedience to the emperor was adherence to natural order. His power was absolute, connecting earthly and cosmic realms. Below the emperor were officials, scholars, and administrators. These individuals were trained to manage the empire. Their focus was on administration rather than military combat. China valued paperwork and procedure over military strength. Bureaucracy served as the central control mechanism in historical societies. Detailed records were kept for every village to ensure oversight. Harvest yields were meticulously counted and tracked. Information on every household was recorded and maintained. This comprehensive data collection enabled total administrative control. Civil service exams selected officials based on knowledge, not birth or strength. These exams assessed candidates' understanding of state philosophy. The goal was to ensure loyalty to the prevailing ideology. This system aimed to produce officials dedicated to maintaining order. Knowledge-based selection sought to create effective instruments of governance. Confucian ideals profoundly shaped historical societies. These ideals stressed respect for social hierarchy. Honoring authority was a central tenet. Accepting one's designated role was crucial. Questioning authority was seen as a moral flaw. Historically, law reinforced social structures through visible punishments. Punishments were often public to maximize their deterrent effect. The severity of punishments was often unforgiving in nature. Fear was strategically employed as a key tool for social control. Public punishments served as a warning against disobedience. This system aimed to educate through the consequences of breaking the law. Households were registered under a system of collective responsibility. Communities were organized into groups under this system. The actions of one person impacted the entire group. Disobedience by an individual affected the whole community. This system fostered social control and mutual accountability. Historically, surveillance relied on the anticipation of being watched. Individuals often behaved as if under constant observation. This behavior stemmed from the likelihood of actual surveillance. The perception of being watched shaped societal conduct. Historically, obedience offered security and stability. It also provided predictability in daily life. For most, obedience ensured peace and order. Resistance, conversely, led to chaos and punishment. Dynastic cycles involved the rise, peak, decline, and fall of ruling families. Despite dynastic changes, core systems of control often persisted. This continuity ensured societal stability across different rulers. The underlying structure maintained order despite leadership shifts. Emphasis on strict control can have significant drawbacks. One major consequence is the slowing down of innovation. Control often suppresses dissenting opinions and alternative ideas. This can lead to a narrowing of individual freedom and expression. Creativity and progress are hindered by excessive regulation. The cost of control includes stifled progress and limited perspectives. Civil service exams were intended to provide opportunity, but access was limited. Success required rote memorization of approved texts. The system emphasized conformity over critical thinking. Candidates learned what to think, not how to challenge existing ideas. Passing exams led to official positions, reinforcing the system that elevated them. Officials enforced the system, maintaining their status and power. This system cultivated loyalty among officials. Loyalty was fostered rather than imposed, ensuring stability. Meritocracy served as a justification for social hierarchy in historical contexts. It framed individual failure as a personal shortcoming rather than a systemic issue. This perspective shielded the state from blame for societal inequalities. It redirected public frustration inward, focusing on individual inadequacies. Thus, meritocracy helped maintain social order by legitimizing existing power structures. The empire's endurance was rooted in the unwavering obedience of its subjects. This obedience persisted even when belief in the empire's ideals began to wane. The empire's systems were strategically designed for long-term survival. Continuity of the empire was a key objective in the design of its systems. Control was paramount, influencing the structure and function of the empire's systems. Obedience, survival, continuity, and control were intertwined for lasting power. Historically, China prioritized stability over radical experimentation. The nation favored predictability in governance and policy-making. This preference led to a cautious approach toward risk-taking. Choosing stability helped preserve the existing imperial structure. However, this choice also imposed constraints on the empire's development. Innovation and adaptation were potentially stifled by this approach. The governance was driven by calculation, not inherent cruelty. The aim was to optimize the civilization's long-term endurance. This optimization prioritized survival over individual happiness. The focus was on strategic planning for societal longevity. Calculated decisions were made to ensure the civilization's survival. Ancient China illustrates that societal order and individual freedom are distinct concepts. A stable society does not automatically equate to a compassionate one. Efficiency in governance does not guarantee justice for all citizens. Order can be maintained through strict control, limiting personal liberties. True progress requires balancing societal stability with individual rights and freedoms. Power dynamics are inherent and influential, never existing in a neutral state. Obedience is seldom a coincidence. It is often a result of societal structures. Understanding power and obedience humanizes historical contexts like ancient China. Civilization provides structure, which in turn requires certain concessions. These dynamics shaped social interactions and governance in ancient China. If you enjoy exploring history beyond the myths, consider subscribing for more documentaries like this. And as always, thank you for watching.